Welcome back to Gold Rush on Console with Turley. Um, so just a little bit of update since the last episode. I basically restarted. I just wasn't financially getting anywhere, it didn't seem like. Um, so in here I do have just a few items that I've picked up in case I need them. I do have the big fuel container, 16%, and I have the small one here that I run out to fill up the vehicles. I also did buy the employee upgrade. I have the big water pump right here that I'm using to fill the mobile water pumps with. I have some extra buckets here. As you can see, I cleared this area completely out. I've also scraped the bottom of it like several times. I thought there would be some sort of bonus at the end, but I didn't get it. I don't know how much longer I would have to try to keep going to do that. It just got down to where it was a lot of work to get just any buckets at all. I do have the parcel upgraded for 2 pieces of equipment. I recently bought the inloader, so I have a mobile wash plant set up here with the mobile water and the magnetite separator and the wave table. I've got a little set up here, and then I just set this little area up. I started excavating back here with the excavator. I just went ahead and bought the large. Just kind of hit or miss here. I had the wash plant here in the middle. Kind of hard to see when it's raining. So I kind of got a little routine down. What I was doing was basically filling up buckets of pay dirt. As you can see, I got the water and the electric here for the mobile wash plant. I just repositioned it. I don't know if I can reach over to here. I probably can't. But just trying to get that corner a little bit. But it's kind of working back here in the back as well. And the little routine that I had going down was I would fill buckets, get buckets of pay dirt during the day when I could see. And then at night I would do the extra stuff. Repairs, go sell gold, refuel the water tanks, refuel the vehicles, that sort of thing if the visibility was low. Also, with the low visibility, I can actually use I think the front end loader will be easier to use. If you look, I haven't processed anything here yet. I just started scooping. But I literally just got this set up to where I feel like if it's low, it's raining a lot right now, so I feel like if it's low visibility, the end loader is a better option to go ahead and process. The gold nuggets, I did have those on, and it seemed like it's not really random. It's like, okay, the first nugget you process 3 cubic yards of dirt, you get a nugget. And then you have to process 6 cubic yards to get the next nugget, and then 12, and then they're getting farther and farther apart. Now the nugget sizes are larger than they were, but I might go the whole day of processing and not get a nugget at this point. So it's starting to get more and more, it's less frequent, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I got 2 little setups here, and then I'm going to start trying to buy. The next step, we'll start buying pieces, hopefully catch them on sale, but if not, just literally start buying the pieces for the wash plant. I'm probably not going to start the actual wash plant until after winter, because I think a lot of your stuff will get damaged during the winter. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating there. I'll have to make a decision on that Depends on how much money we can get. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and we'll process a little bit of pay dirt through this. And this end loader does move a lot of dirt pretty quick, so the mobile wash plant really does struggle to keep up with it. Let's see what we need. Electric. We need, oh, over here. Electric and water. So, and I've got some extra buckets here. I've been looking to hire somebody that I've got employees unlocked for the 10,000. But so far I haven't found anybody other than the hog pans. I was hoping to get someone for the mobile wash plants. Also, you got to find out what view works for you. I like this view. Excuse me, on most of the equipment. Just seems to be a little easier. I gotta turn the plant on, wash plant on. I'm sitting at 80% dirt in it right now. So I do have extra buckets to switch out. So what I'll do is I'll run these through. This container is not great, but it seems to work fine for empty buckets. But when you start putting, when you start getting full of pay dirt, it's easier to put them in the back of the truck. Also, I probably need to buy a small trailer. I think they're less than $2,000. So I like to be able to where I can see how much dirt's in there. So I gotta remember how to work this thing. Been a minute. I used it. I bought it pretty early on in my other episode that I started, but I couldn't financially. I was renting and taking loans, and it just didn't seem to like I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't even now. In 3 days to autumn, it seems like I'm struggling to get to the tier 3. I'm not sure how do I turn. It's telling me to turn on the differential lock. Okay. So for tier 3, I still don't feel. I don't know when you should be into that part. You know, I don't know when you should be doing that. So I don't know how long it should take you to get to that point. I don't see how you could get it the first season. I really, I didn't get over to here until I cleaned out the other area. I really tried to save money. I did buy random parts. You know, I do have 2 mobile wash plants. I do have 2 mobile water tanks. But as they was one of, I figured if they break down, we can, or we run out of water. I was pretty surprised at how often it did rain during the summer. I thought I was going to have more of a water issue. So we will hook up to the creek with the big pump once we get the wash plant going, until we can get the water tower repaired. So you can, if you hire employees, they really don't do anything other than provide basically a perk or a bonus to what you're processing. There's an employee that will give you, he will swap out the buckets. Right now I can only put 1 bucket on this wash plant, but there's an employee perk that will allow you to do, the farthest I've got was 2 buckets, but when that first bucket hits 100%, they will swap it out, but they will not be able to swap out the second bucket. So, but you can do 1 bucket at 100 and the next bucket to 95 or whatever, and then jump out yourself. And then you've got 2 buckets of processed pay dirt, which is a little faster. um, than swapping every single bucket out. But what I would like to get is something that provides like a 10% bonus, like I have for the hog pan for the mobile wash plant. It just gives you 10% more gold processed, 10% more efficiency. That seems to be like a much better perk to have. If you would have got 20 ounces of gold, you'd get 22 ounces of gold, which would cover some of your things. I do have one upgrade unlocked with magnetite. It's the one that costs less to process the gold. So to process a 20 ounce bar, it's about $1,000 instead of $2,000. So still the visibility is low. It's because of the rain, but the lights, in my opinion, is challenging. Just want to keep an eye on that bucket. Don't want to really lose pay dirt. Looks like we're at 61%, so we've got plenty of time here. I'm not even keeping up with the mobile wash plant, which is not great. You get into a rhythm, you should be waiting with dirt. Once you get rolling here. I don't know if I got a very good scoop there. Yeah, about 87%. We're up to 71% processed pay dirt. I'm going to leave a little bit of that dirt there on the side so I can drive that side. You can, instead of drive your excavator back every time, like I'm going to start using my excavator to move stuff into place for the wash plant. You can reset your vehicle. I reset my vehicle, the truck, once, and it did not charge me money, so I'm not sure if that's true with every piece of equipment. But if that's the case, you would never want to drive an excavator from the back of the claim to the front. You could just reset it every time. Now, you would have to drive it back, but that's a nice little thing to know. If it's not charging you, it'll be just a quick way of getting the excavator back to grab the next piece. You can just reset it, so keep that in mind. So the game is challenging. It's even though I'm on easy, I didn't I skipped the dollar, per, because $450 you could buy every piece of equipment, buy all the claims and everything for your $400. So I skipped that again. I did do the, like I said, I did do the nuggets, but the last nugget I got was 19 ounces, which is not, it's not horrible. It's an extra $22,000 or whatever, but $22,000 a day, you're still talking about 5-6 days of processing just to get that one little bonus piece of equipment. And when you start talking about stuff being 500,000, it really just covers your fuel or whatever, but it's still, you got to put some work in. It's more of a simulation versus an arcade, in my opinion, which is not a bad thing. You just need to understand that. You can do it without the nuggets on, absolutely. Like I said, it really doesn't. It helps you get a few things early on, but it doesn't seem like at this point that it's really an impact. It's not really that much compared to my actual cleanouts. So I usually process 6 or 8, whatever I could process during the day that I can see. or till I run out of fuel, and then I go ahead and you know, run it through. I think last time I ran it through, that was just the excavator, I got about 31 ounces. So, alright, we're at 100%. I'm not sitting there talking. I got the lights on. That's going to be bad. Just want to try to turn this thing off before I can pull that bucket. Well, it still had pay dirt in it. So if you switch that off, it'll save that. It was at 50%, but just gonna drop it here for now. But yeah, you try to watch that so I don't lose pay dirt. But I was talking, trying to remember everything. Like I said, I've been playing for quite a while offline on this game. It got to the point where I couldn't just really grind it out. It started getting a little too grindy to where I wasn't enjoying it. So I would just play. Now I gotta turn the wash plant back on. So I would just play, you know, an hour or so here and there, and then I would go back to it. We'll just leave it running. This until we turn this on. Then I would just go back to it here and there between other games or whatever, until I got back to the point where I felt like I was farther than I was before. And it just because you don't want to sit there and just videotape the whole, you know, me putting. I used a lot of buckets, so what I did was I didn't just shovel into the hog pan. I would literally go through and fill up 25, 30 buckets, and then I would fill up the hog pan with a shovel, and then I would go turn my water on and then run all that through to 100%, and then I would turn the water off and run all those buckets, fill all those buckets back up again. That was not a very good scoop. I don't think I'm really getting any good there. Seemed like I got a little more. They got pretty good dirt animation. In my opinion, it's something that's hard to mimic, obviously. It is a game versus real life, but it's pretty decent. You can kind of see the stuff disappearing there. You know, you got decent bucket. You can't really, it's hard to see into the front loader from this view. There you go, you can kind of see it straighten off a little bit. Oh, sorry for that. My mom came by for lunch. I'm about to get off soon. Alright, so yeah, we got some progress. I'll start trying to what I'll do is we'll do this video, and then we'll make a video. I'll run the excavator a video, and then I'll just bring you back for a clean out when we actually process the gold, and we'll see how we're looking there, and we'll start putting the pieces into place. But tough game. There's not a lot of games out there that challenge you, I think, as much as this one. So I really, if you like that, I mean, for being a non-strategy combat game, of course, but it's fun. I'm still playing it. It's not to the point where it's not enjoyable. If it starts getting grindy like that, you know, you're better off to take a break. Because in my experience, if you burn yourself out and just not play it, now you've got a game that, you know, that you played, and you can always come back to it later as well. You know, take some time off and come back. That's what's nice about I'm on console. My PS4 library is there. I can delete games, go back a year later, download them and play them again. On my channel, I go back to a lot of games that I've played in the past. Uh, you know, once they got an update, or even if I just feel like, some of the free games even that I enjoy, I go back to occasionally. Um, Minecraft's one, for example, that I might play a couple weeks and then not do it, and then just want to go back and do it for a couple weeks. 3 months later, 4 months later. It's just you can do that. 40%, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't overfill. So I just wanted to get a little update out on the on the parcel, sorry, and so that I haven't really. I hate just dropping a series. It does happen. If you're not getting views and such, you tend to want to go do something else. I'm not at that point yet. I just I play what I like, and if I get one view, usually I'll continue a series, which is. It is what it is. I'm not monetized, so I don't really worry too much about that. I'm very, I'm going to play the game either way. So to me, it's like if you can share in some of the fun and some of the tips and, in my case, a lot of the mistakes that you're doing, it might save someone else a little headache and make the game more enjoyable. And the bottom line is, how can you help people enjoy the game, even if it's through helping them play it, the do-nots, the do's, things like that, or if they just enjoy watching it. I watch a lot of YouTubers play a lot of games, and I like it. I usually have something playing in the background the entire time I'm playing, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, so it's just one of those things where it keeps it fun and keeps it exciting. And there's so many games out there, you can't play them all, even though you'd like to. That's what's nice about being able to jump around and do different things, and change it up so it's not the same old. Right now I'm currently playing about 8 games that I try to mix in, and you can't play 8 games every single day. Right now this is one of my favorites, and I'm still only probably able to put in an hour or so a day into this game, and there's 7 other games that I want to play. I don't know if we got any dirt that time. We'll try to hit it again here. Yeah, I think we did. And so you just try to balance out what you can do in your free time. And sometimes you got to go 2 and 3 days without a series. And then there's some games I try to play every day. I don't always make videos on everything I play either. I like pretty much every genre of game, but I like simulations are probably my favorite, up there with RPG. I also like first-person shooters and combat games as well, but I enjoy playing those more with friends, sometimes versus myself. So as you can see, we've been processing. We're on our second bucket here, and we haven't gotten a nugget. So they're really starting to get pretty scarce. Now the last one I got was pretty good size. I want to say like 18 ounces. So, an extra 20 grand, 22 grand. That doesn't hurt, for sure. Okay, this will be, I'll probably jump off, and I might have to, this bucket might overdo it here. So I'm going to go ahead and kill it. I left the lights, I turned the lights on, I think, or I turned them on bright. Now I'm going to not be able to turn my thing off in time. Okay. throwing away money. Luckily, I was quick enough. And you just gotta, it's rinse repeat, a lot of it. So yeah, every game has some of it. If you're trying to progress, the difficulty gets harder. I'm excited about, from my understanding, the gold. When you read the parcels, it'll tell you that, you know, the gold is not great here. It gets better as you go to the bigger parcels, which makes sense. Better gold quantities are going to cost, the claim's going to cost more, so I can completely understand that. But I also understand by reading it that where the gold is and the exact quantities or how it's distributed, some of that at least is random, so that if you go through the second playthrough, you shouldn't get, if you drill, and I didn't test it, I was going to, you know, start a map, do 15 drills, look at those drills, start a new map, do 15 drills, and see if it's exactly the same, because I'm going to think there's some sort of, if it's exactly the same, you would never need to drill after this first playthrough. So I think it is a little bit random there. On someone, I was reading some of the stuff on the wiki, because I thought there was going to be some sort of bonus on some of the console playthroughs that I watched in the past. I thought there was some sort of bonus for clearing out the hog pen area, but I myself, I couldn't really prove that. You know, and there was talk about 40-ounce Lucky Nugget. I think that's just if you got the nuggets on, you know, by the time you get to the next couple parcels, I think that they get farther apart, but they get bigger. So I think eventually I will get a 40-ounce nugget, but after I process, you know, thousands of yards of pay dirt. But we'll see. But they're definitely not just random, like, oh, because you know, I've never gotten them back to back, for example. So they're not random. If they were random, you'd get them. They're pretty consistent on when you're getting them. I got one, I think it might have been yesterday, so I may get one some point today, but that time gets farther and farther, or greater and greater in between those nuggets. So it's definitely, and it might be something on that. I didn't really research it. I try to not to research stuff unless I'm stuck. One of the things that gave me a hard time was I didn't realize you didn't have to have a filter. I was trying to run the smaller hose, the big hose, into a splitter through the huge hose. I didn't realize you didn't have to have a filter on the huge hose, and I spent a lot of time in real life trying to figure that whole water system out. It didn't seem like it really helped me looking at the journal, so, you know, sometimes you have to go watch a video or whatever if you're stuck on something, because there again, it's better to look it up than to not enjoy the game, because you don't want to spend money on a game and play it 3 days and never play it again. That's just a waste of money. If you can try to get some enjoyment out of that game, doesn't have to be for years and years and years, but you want to at least feel like you got a good value for whatever you paid. So anyway, I'll bring you guys back. We'll probably tomorrow in the game, and then we'll go through and we'll run the excavator a while, and we'll go and then we'll try to do the and then we'll come back for a clean out. We may run this too, depending on visibility. Like I said, the plan is when it's kind of hard to see, even though I think it's probably bright enough for me to see right now in the excavator. This seems to be a little easier for me in low light conditions. I don't really have my excavator in the right spot right now either, because that's one of the things about trying to move it at night. you may not get your positioning right. So it doesn't take long to reposition it if you're close. You don't want the wash plant right on top. You want it almost at the end of your arms of your excavator. If you're right up close, it's hard to get the height and the right and dump the dirt in there without wasting a lot of it. It's closer to the end of your reach, in my opinion, is easier. But obviously every person's a little different. And I like the outside cab view. Some people might like the first person view, but you can change your view around, and I'll show you guys that a little bit about what I do with the excavator. There's a couple different views you can flip around to, and kind of, if you're really worried about trying to get every drop out of the hole, I really wasn't. I was just trying to get consistent pay dirt into the machine. I figured I would always go back and clean it up with this at some point. And the goal is to get the dump truck and fill up the truck and then run the truck to the wash plant. But that's a long ways off at this point. So I don't feel like I got a good scoop here. You can kind of go around the front like this and look. It's not full, but there is some dirt in there. Oh, and I just tore up the truck. I'm starting to get a lot of breakdowns too, tires and things. I haven't bought the reinforced yet. I'm trying to save. I really haven't played long enough to see the frequency of breakdowns to justify 600 versus 6,000. But I think slowly, maybe if you're up a little money, you start working into the reinforced. I did buy the reinforced wash plant sprayer on the mobile wash plant for the one in the back, because when I played before, that did go out pretty frequently. And it wasn't, I don't know, I think it was maybe 3,000. So I felt like that was worth the money. So I'm hoping to get another employee soon that's not wash plant, maybe even a mechanic, maybe an excavator bonus, maybe a mobile wash plant bonus. And if you can assign your employees, so if you got one assigned to this mobile wash plant and you decide to go to the back, you can unassign him back there and then reassign him to this one up here if you move. You can move your employee so that way he's always on whatever you're working on. It doesn't seem to be no penalty or no delay on reassigning them. So you can have multiple plants set up. You know, and that's close enough. You can have multiple wash plants set up and just move your employee to whichever one you're actually working on. So that's a good thing as well. But when you get that mobile wash plant employee, there's one that has a perk where you'll set an extra bucket right here, which is not highlighted right now, and then he will swap that first one with that one at 100%. It's the same way with the hog mats. We'll go ahead and turn everything down. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate your patience. I hope you're enjoying the game. Hope you're doing maybe even better than me in the game if you're playing it. It's definitely a challenging one. Doesn't mean it's not fun. It just depends on the level of challenge that you're looking for. So don't forget to check out the channel, hit like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Until next time, have fun gaming. I'm out of here.